The tallest players in the NBA today include Wanyama, Victor Wanyama, and Zach, all listed at 7 feet 4 inches. However, just a few years ago, there was another player who surpassed both of them in height. Does anyone remember Taco Fall? Standing at 7 feet 7 inches, he ranked among the top 5 tallest players in NBA history, a whole foot above the average player who is typically listed at 6 feet 7 inches. One might assume that with his height and the ability to dunk without jumping, he would be an unstoppable force on any court against anyone. Yet, Taco Fall is now nearing 30 years old, has played in fewer than 20 games, and has exited the NBA. Nonetheless, he is gearing up for a comeback. What happened to Taco Fall? Where is he now? Why is he no longer in the NBA? And how would a return be different this time? Taco Fall has always been unique. He was not your average NBA player who spent his youth playing basketball. Taco spent his childhood and early teen years in his home country of Senegal, where a coach discovered him while he was playing in the street with his friends. What caught the coach's attention was not Taco's skills, but his height, as he was already 7'3" at 15 years old, yet he had no understanding of basketball. He couldn't dunk and struggled to move up and down the court without tiring. The coach recognized raw, untapped potential, as the common adage in basketball is that height cannot be taught. So, the coach made some calls, and soon Taco was in the U.S., beginning his high school basketball journey. Taco was not simply undeveloped. He wasn't a basketball player at all. He was a blank slate, yet simultaneously the tallest teenager in America. After intense one-on-one practice sessions with Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon, Taco quickly figured things out, and it wasn't long before he gained viral fame in high school. This matchup between Taco and Nickel Alexander, who is listed at 6'9", garnered 2.2 million views on YouTube, while his triple-double performance received over 3.3 million views. These were remarkable figures for a high school player, particularly at that time. Taco Fall was a dominant force in high school, collaborating with #1 pick Ben Simmons, and Nike's EBL circuit teams were clueless on how to contain him. As a senior, he averaged 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 5.1 blocks per game, establishing himself as one of the most sought-after prospects nationwide, becoming a 4-star recruit, with nearly 40 Division I schools showing interest in him. Taco faced a significant choice and ultimately decided to attend the University of Central Florida, signing with them in 2014. Taco Fall rapidly became a major name in college basketball. As a freshman, he faced Mamadou Ndiaye, another towering giant from the same neighborhood in Dakar. At 7'7" and 7'6", this marked the tallest tip-off in NCAA history, with the two giants going head-to-head. The game turned into an overtime thriller that kept everyone on edge, and Taco delivered the stronger performance. Taco Fall continued to progress during his time in college, taking his time with the aspiration of reaching the NBA. However, after an impressive sophomore year, his growth somewhat plateaued. Anticipation was high for a significant leap in his performance, but the statistics from his junior and senior years show that he failed to elevate his game. This doesn't imply he wasn't a valuable player. During his 4 years in college, he maintained a shooting percentage of 74% and was recognized as one of the premier shot blockers in college basketball, earning the ACC Defensive Player of the Year title in 2017. He was also a consistent double-double contributor throughout his college career. However, Taco truly caught the eye of NBA scouts during the 2019 NCAA tournament when he helped the Knights secure their first tournament victory in the school's history. Subsequently, they faced the powerhouse Duke Blue Devils in the second round, showcasing notable recruits like Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, and Cam Reddish. In this game, the standout performance came from the 7'7" giant, who competed fiercely for a top position in the NBA draft. Notably, Taco dazzled with a series of impressive plays, including several dunks, while being a focal point on the floor. Despite struggling at the free throw line with a 36% success rate, he managed to contribute significantly to the game. Taco finished with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks, shooting an impressive 7 out of 10 from the field. He even stood tall and blocked Zion's shot at the rim. Zion on the blocks challenged Taco Fall, but when it came down to crunch time with a chance to reach the Sweet 16, Zion Williamson demonstrated why he was considered the top player in the nation. Williamson drove in and scored as the clock ran down, despite experiencing a devastating loss and coming so close to achieving a historic upset against arguably the best team in the nation. Taco Fall showcased his skills in this match. He concluded his college career averaging 10.1 points, 7 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks throughout his 4 years. He received an invitation to the NBA Draft Combine, where Taco set the record for the highest standing reach ever at 10'2", and his 8's wingspan was among the longest ever documented. This, combined with his height and strong frame at nearly 300 pounds, made him one of the most distinctive prospects in draft history. Taco was predicted to be a late second-round pick and attended the draft expecting to hear his name read, but 60 selections later, he remained without an NBA team. However, not for long, because shortly after the draft, Taco received the call he had been anticipating and signed an Exhibit 10 agreement with the Boston Celtics. He was sent to Las Vegas for the NBA Summer League to showcase his skills. From the start, he became a fan favorite, with supporters donning customized Taco merchandise. The moment he hit the court, he started going viral with countless dunks. Even on one play, he hung on the rim while his feet remained on the ground. He displayed a great passing and shooting ability, demonstrating overall basketball IQ. Green, at the top, felt clearly a much better player than many give him credit for. Green showcased his post skills well, effectively driving to the basket. There it is, the lob to fall. After 12 minutes of playtime, Taco scored 12 points, grabbed 2 rebounds, and blocked 1 shot, going 5 for 5 from the floor. However, his best performance of the Summer League was against the Grizzlies. As I mentioned to colleagues, some see him as a potential G League player, so we'll see where he goes from here. How do you feel, Billy Donovan? Nice block by Fall, marking his 3rd of the game. Oh, now it's block number 4 for Taco. Running the floor well and finishing strong, he was dominant on both ends with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Taco averaged impressive stats in the Summer League, shooting a team-high 77% from the field, while averaging 7.2 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks despite limited playing time. He participated with the Boston Celtics during preseason, and whenever Taco stepped on the court, the crowd exploded with excitement, especially when they saw him. He had notable moments in preseason too, demonstrating that he could create an impact in brief appearances. The Celtics decided to convert his contract into a 2-way deal, allowing for movement between the G League and the NBA. He made his official NBA debut against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, and shortly after, in a significant win over Detroit, the fans clearly indicated who they came to watch, and head coach Brad Stevens yielded to the fans' demands. Taco appeared in just 7 games during his rookie season, and although his shooting mechanics were among the least conventional ever, he surprisingly hit a 3-pointer in an NBA game. Look at that! And who could forget when he matched up against Mo Bamba, leading to an unforgettable moment. Although his overall statistics may seem lackluster, given that he only averaged 4.5 minutes of play per game, they were impressive when put into context. If we compute Taco's averages per 36 minutes representative of a typical NBA starter's playing time, his numbers would suggest he could have been an All-NBA center, averaging 25.1 points, 16.4 rebounds, and 4.4 blocks per game, but being part of a competitive playoff team like the Celtics limited his opportunities. They truly lacked the bandwidth for a 23-year-old rookie in the roster, so Taco ended up spending most of his inaugural season in the G League, with the main claw naturally playing alongside the 58 Tremont Waters. They needed to recreate the famous Muggsy Bogues and Muggsy Bull picture, which we've seen mirrored again this season with Yuki Kawamura and Zach ID. Check out our video on the NBA's smallest player when you're finished here. In his first G League season, Taco was exceptional, averaging 12.9 points, 11.1 rebounds, 3 blocks, and registering 18 double-doubles in 19 games while shooting 70% from the field. Let's discuss some of his standout performances, such as this one against the Windy City Bulls, where Taco was simply unstoppable as he was bound to get fouled frequently. Taco blocked a shot off the glass. Here come the Red Claws on a 3-on-2 fast break. With Taco adapting to the NBA, I don't see this one being utilized either. Do you, Chris? I'd be surprised. Taco moves underneath, going from right to left on your radio and left to right on your TV screen, but that shot doesn't go down. With 9:5 remaining, Hall finds Makoka, who drives in, but the shot is off. They'll go inside to Taco, who throws it down and gets the N1 as Farron Hall logged 16 points, hitting 7 of 7 from the field with 14 rebounds and 9 blocks in only 25 minutes. It was a wildly impressive near triple-double with blocks. He also had another fantastic game against the Canton Charge, where his first shot went up and in as he bullies his way inside. They'll go back to Taco once more. One dribble, Taco surpasses Taco with it. Cook defending Taco double team takes the shot that's just 2 on the runner. no-look pass to Taco Fall, who slams it down with 18 points and 16 rebounds in only 23 minutes. Taco was progressing faster than expected, and the Boston Celtics intended to keep him. He was meant to return for the 2020-21 season, but sadly due to the pandemic, the G League season was impacted and the main clause withdrew from the league. This was a huge setback for Taco, as he missed a full year of development at a crucial age, and he only participated in 19 games with the Celtics that season. However, as reflected in the statistics, he wasn't quite ready for the NBA yet, and by this time, he wasn't very young. Because of this, the Celtics decided to move on from Taco Fall. Fortunately for Taco, there was still interest around the NBA, and he signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers for the 2021-22 season. This season, Taco received more NBA chances, even making his first start against the Boston Celtics, his former team. This marked his first ever NBA tip-off, which of course went viral, and you can probably guess who won. Taco, who easily gets the tip back to Rubio, performed pretty well in this game with 4 points and a career-high 12 rebounds. Unfortunately, this was as good as it got for Taco in the NBA, because during his 11 games with the Cavs, he failed to impress, averaging 1 points, 2.1 rebounds, and shooting 41% from the field, which is extremely poor for someone that can genuinely drop the ball into the basket while remaining stationary. What's fascinating, however, is that during that same G League season, he was performing the best basketball of his life. Taco was a starter for the Charge, and in his debut with the team, he demonstrated to the Cavs front office what he could do. He tosses it up, hands it to Taco Fall, who catches it and slams it down with 2 defenders around him, searching for assistance to a cutting Trey Landers inside to Taco for the two-handed dunk. Malik Newman receives the screen from Taco while moving down the right side to a floater that bounces off the glass, too strong, with a one-handed follow slam from Taco Fall. He executes a Euro step into the lane to Taco, right at the rim, putting it up as Taco began the G League season impressively, averaging 23.3 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 3 blocks on 76% shooting. However, his performance did decline over the season, especially his scoring, as depicted on the screen. He still delivered some standout performances, including one with 22 points, 17 rebounds, and 3 blocks in just 23 minutes. Outside of offense, that lobbed ball goes to Taco Fall. From the point guard position, they'll now work it into the post with, "Excuse me, Taco Fall." Taco experiences a fall while being hit hard, but Brandon Knight attempts to foul, and Taco Fall powers it down with 8.6 seconds remaining. Taco received recognition for his contributions. He made the G League all-defensive team for the second time and led the league in block shots, averaging 2.7 per game for the season. He even sunk another three-pointer. Taco Fall attempts a 3 and scores. That marks his initial co-career three-pointer, but despite his impressive performance in the G League, he was not the same player in the NBA, and by summer 2022, he had completely parted ways with the organization. Taco received another opportunity when he signed with the Utah Jazz for the Summer League in 2022, and although he gained attention for an exceptional block my home just made and another moment that got the fans excited with his impactful plays on both sides, Boston was aggressive, and there's Taco Fall again with the block. He is altering the game single-handedly by contesting shots at the rim every possession. Just give him the ball. He won't hesitate. He'll create opportunities for himself with offensive rebounds and listen to the crowd's reaction. However, the Jazz did not seem impressed, which is odd as Taco performed exceptionally well, recording 12 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks against the Mavericks, while averaging 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks throughout the tournament. Still, the Jazz opted not to sign him, not even for their G League roster. This situation left Taco Fall in a peculiar position where he was considered too skilled for the G League, but not adequate for the NBA, and once it became apparent that he wouldn't be joining any roster, overseas teams began to take notice. That summer, Taco Fall signed with the Shijiazhuang Flying Tigers in China's CBA League, making his debut against the Shanghai Sharks, where he contributed to his team's victory with 18 points on 87% shooting. Taco had an impressive first season in China, averaging 13.8 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 3.3 blocks, earning the title of the CBA's leading shot blocker. Unfortunately, despite showcasing some impressive performances with near triple-double statistics, the Flying Tigers narrowly missed the playoffs, finishing the 2022 season with a disappointing record. Taco Fall returned to Vegas for the Summer League, this time with the Milwaukee Bucks. But aside from an impressive fadeaway shot, he didn't display anything in those 5 games that we hadn't already observed. With 7 seconds on the shot clock, King was intense defensively, and Taco made his move with a step-back shot. Upon his return to China for the 2023-24 season, he joined the Ning Monkey Kings. However, this decision didn't work out well for him, as his playing time was slashed from 26 to 13 minutes per game. He averaged only 8.8 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks per game, which when adjusted for his reduced minutes last season would have reflected similar output as when he had starting minutes with the Flying Tigers. At the season's conclusion, Taco Fall recognized that he required a change of environment. He felt isolated, and the language barrier proved to be a significant hurdle. He desired to play in an English-speaking country, but opportunities in the NBA were limited. Eventually, he found what he was looking for by joining the New Zealand Breakers, the very team that R.J. Hampton chose over college. The Breakers are the premier basketball team in New Zealand, competing in Australia's NBL League, and they boast a rich history, having won 4 NBL championships since 2011. This season, however, they are having a challenging year. After 23 games, they find themselves near the bottom of the NBL with an 8-15 record. Taco serves as the backup center, averaging just under 20 minutes per game, with stats of 11.7 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks. He has solidified his role on the team and is performing well individually, but the team's overall performance leaves much to be desired. While Taco is comfortable and enjoying his time in New Zealand, it may be surprising to know that he hasn't abandoned his NBA aspirations, even as he approaches 30 years old. He clings to the dream he chased since his teenage years, believing he possesses the necessary skills, size, and has evolved as a player since his last stint in the United States. In a recent interview, he expressed pride in his former Celtics teammates and shared that his only regret is not being part of their success. Taco also mentioned that he has been emulating Rudy Gobert's game and is convinced that he needs just one more opportunity. Thus, the question to conclude this video is, can Taco Fall play in the NBA today? The answer is both yes and no. Taco has a significant impact when on the court. He can compete with NBA players, offering valuable skills. He is a towering presence in the paint, capable of altering shots at the rim, securing rebounds, and scoring easily, especially under the right coach. They could find a position for him that enables effective play, even if it's only for 5 to 10 minutes each night, in brief spurts. The issue is that it isn't what he excels at. His abilities are notable, but his shortcomings are quite evident whenever he steps onto a court. Despite being agile and coordinated for his height, he still struggles with movement. Indeed, if you place him in the paint, he will block shots and secure rebounds. But the modern NBA demands more than that. You cannot merely exist as an interior defender, and Taco Fall is unable to switch and guard opponents on the perimeter due to his lack of speed. Top NBA guards would draw him out of the paint, use him in a pick and roll, and exploit him repeatedly. His greatest weakness has consistently been his stamina and conditioning. You'll see throughout this video that even when he started, Taco rarely exceeds 20 to 25 minutes per game. He becomes too fatigued, and I doubt that's something he can rectify, especially at his current age. I'd say that this has always been his main limitation. But the reality that he is also a poor free throw shooter makes it easy to defend him on offense. Yes, he can be effective near the basket, but the straightforward solution to stopping him is to send him to the line, since he cannot make free throws reliably whatsoever, and he hasn't improved in this aspect throughout his career. Either, just take a look at the statistics. In college, Taco converted 42% at the line, 32% in the NBA, 45% in the G League, and 48% internationally. Taco also lacks a mid-range game, and certainly poses no threat from beyond the arc, leading NBA teams to conclude that he simply isn't valuable in today's league, which emphasizes space, pace, and shooting, his major shortcomings as a player. However, just because he doesn't align with the modern NBA doesn't imply that Taco is a poor basketball player. Had he played in another era, our discussion would be quite different. At virtually any point in basketball history prior to the 2010s, Taco would likely be an NBA player, potentially even a starter, thriving in an environment with less spacing and a more post-focused style. He would be able to dominate in the paint offensively and defensively. In a man-to-man system, he would be a challenge with fewer jump shots leading to long rebounds. His talent in boxing out and securing rebounds would be significantly more valued, along with his rim protection skills, as more shots would be taken near the basket. In summary, for every argument supporting Taco's presence in the league, there's an equally strong argument against it. Perhaps circumstances would have changed if he had received more chances. After all, Taco only participated in 19 NBA games, largely in garbage time, leaving him little opportunity to demonstrate his abilities. Nonetheless, whether in the NBA or not, Taco transitioned from a teenager playing pickup games with friends in Segal to enjoying a successful college career, playing in the NBA G League and overseas in various countries. He has achieved a lot in basketball and also holds a degree in computing science, which means he can follow another passion and earn a living after his playing career. As for the future, Taco will keep going viral and remain a fan favorite wherever he plays. He is certainly a character that the basketball community will remember for many years. What do you think? Could Taco Fall make a comeback in today's NBA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video about the tallest player in the NBA, check out our video discussing the shortest player. It's one of our top videos with over 2 million views. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you're new. With that said, this is HoopHub signing off until next time. Peace.